A golem is a creepy monster made of clay in the shape of a huge man, whose main purpose is to protect and fulfill the wishes of its creator. These creatures come from Jewish folklore. In most stories, the creators of golems were rabbis. The main idea was that a holy man and his closeness to God receives divine power that can breathe life into a clay figure. But since the creator of the golem is not God, he cannot give a soul to his creation. Thus, the creation is inferior to man in form, intelligence, and free will. Also, due to the lack of a soul, golems are deprived of the gift of speech. Most stories about golems date back to the Middle Ages. By and large, these creatures acted as defenders of the Jewish people or a punishing force against offenders. Some legends describe the process of creating these creatures. After making the clay figure, the holy man must write a sacred word on the forehead that brings the monster to life. Some sources say that this word was written on a piece of paper or a tablet, then placed in the golem's mouth. In the first published story about this monster, namely in a collection of Jewish fairy tales from 1847, it is indicated that to bring it to life, you need to write the word Emeth, that is, truth. To turn it off, you need to erase the first letter of the word, which would be met, that is, death, after which life will leave the clay form. Later, in the 19th century, the golem entered the sphere of Western European culture and folklore. Christian clergy began to use its image as a symbol of excessive danger when using magic. Under this influence, a story appeared about how the creator loses control over the created creature. Today, the image of the golem is firmly entrenched in our popular culture, literature, cinema, games, and comics. The legend of the golem originated in Prague in the 16th century. The fame of the golem's creation is attributed to the Maharal of Prague, a famous rabbi named Lev ben Bezalel. The Maharal was a major scholar of his time, a Kabbalist and mystic, with extensive knowledge of mathematics and astronomy. He was a friend of the famous Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. It is believed that the rabbi was also close friends with the emperor. In addition, the Maharal was interested in pedagogy, actively advocated freedom of thought and speech. This man enjoyed great respect from his compatriots, which is probably partly what gave rise to the legend. In the 16th century, Jews, like other minorities, lived in ghettos, city blocks where they settled voluntarily or under duress. Jews were subjected to cruel persecution and harassment. To protect his people, legend has it, Bezalel created his golem, an artificial man. For several years, the golem helped the Maharal of Prague and protected the Jewish people from oppression. Every time the rabbi needed his help, he would put a parchment with a life-giving word into the golem's mouth and then take it out. Bezalel always switched off the golem on Saturday, since he went to the synagogue and left it unattended. But one day, the rabbi forgot to do this. The golem woke up, left the house, and began to wreak havoc and destruction on the entire city. The rabbi soon found it and took Emeth out. After that, the golem's body was locked in the attic of the synagogue, where it was forbidden to go. However, for many years, the Jews of Prague believed that the mighty golem rose once every 33 years and walked the city streets. There is another version of the legend, as if the golem gradually became human. It began to show free will, to reach out to people, to try to talk. Of course, they ran away from it in fear. Then one day the giant decided to pay people back and began to destroy the city and kill the inhabitants. This image and the idea of how the creator loses control over his creation has been played out in many cultural works. Books, films, cartoons, fine art, and computer games. For example, in the Gothic novel by writer Mary Shelley, the young scientist Victor Frankenstein creates and brings to life a monster, which then turns against him. Another famous work is the novel The Golem by Gustav Meyrink. Similar motives or references can be traced in the works of Thomas Mann, Stanislav Lem, or Umberto Eco.